Kirsten Elder. Oh no, I've got to blow my nose. Oh, got to take everything off just to get a flipping tissue out. Someone's definitely growing onions around here. I'll start crying my eyes out in a minute. Yeah, no, I know. Is he? Good for Mike. Open Mike. Yeah. Morning, folks. You alright? I'm sitting down on my Dave Allen chair today. Start telling some jokes. Right, so as you can see, let's just have a little look here. See where we're at. In terms of the... yeah, be growing onions. Is it leeks, is it? Is it? Absolute. Is it? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, let's zoom in there. Zoomies. Right. One single runway here. RAF Coningsby, of course. Well, there's actually, you know, I think there was a, even though it's used as a taxiway and as, well, generally used as a taxiway, I wonder if that, it's always been a single runway here at Coningsby. I don't know. So, we are looking directly across runway 25. They are on easterlies today. Interestingly enough, the sock has changed. Oh, he's gone. Say about that. Now, a couple of jets over there. Is 1X 9? No. Well, the thing is that I hear that the Andy, the coffee guy, who's been here over the last couple of days to my right, he told me that apparently they've closed the car park altogether. They've closed the wave. The wave has completely closed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what we thought, wasn't it? But if they've closed that, yeah, yeah. Now I believe, if I'm right in saying, no, they'll cone the entire area off, mate. They will. Yeah, but if you've, Yeah, but if you've got no worries about ruining your reputation, then fair enough. But for us, you don't want to be upsetting the MOD. You don't want to be upsetting the police. You don't want to be, you know. Chester Jaw saying the wave cabin was condemned. Blimey. Well, that doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Oh, okay. Okay, Chester Jaw's also saying Waddington say they will reopen the car park just for Cobra. Okay, well, yeah, we need to speak to them, don't we? Yes, yes. Well, yeah, that would be a bit silly, wouldn't it? Say about that. It's just a sidewinder just sitting there on one of the trolleys there, waiting to be possibly loaded up. I don't know. So normally BAE Systems have it's an Embraer, isn't it? Or is it a CRJ or something that that flies in here every morning? BAE Systems. Oh, okay, okay. Lloyd Bell saying we're due in around about midday, so no, I don't know. Nitrogen bottles? No, I'm talking about that one that's on the. Ah, he's right, you know. God, blimey, he had no flipping flies on him, is there? They are nitrogen bottles. They look like sidewinders, didn't they? Yeah, but he's right. They are nitrogen bottles. Fair play. Got to take another one being towed out. Really? Oh my good God. That's not good. They shut that one up. Oh, okay. As soon as you start seeing these canopies going up, then we know we're kind of in business. We need to hit. Well, fair enough, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The floor was pretty dodgy. Felt like I was on Holmes under the hammer. Yeah. Oh well, we'll just have to monitor it and see what happens. Laura loves hearing the early morning birds. Yeah, it is. It is beautiful. That's one of the big benefits of getting up early in the morning is to hear the early chorus, the early morning chorus of. Usually, I have to be honest with you, it's usually a robin. The robins are up pretty early. The blackbirds are the ones that go to bed quite late. Go to bed. Go to roost. And of course, you've got here in this area, you've got the rooks, or are they rooks? They've got bleeding great big beaks. I know that. They're not stock crows. I don't think they're stock crows. I think they're. But they've got. I don't know. They're all in the tree over there. Delta Tango. John Samuels checking in from Rome. Mank Red. Jeff Bundy. All day off for Jeff Bundy. What was the name of the fella in that movie? Something Bundy. Jeff Bundy. I thought it was Jeff Bundy. Anyway. Baz Wookie. Oh yeah. God morning. Baz Wookie. It is God's morning. I think he can call it. He rules it. Les Donaldson, Sue, Lloyd Bell, BAE Systems E145 is due in out around midday. I thought that the I seem to recall last time we've been here, it's that BAE Systems aircraft is here for monitoring, and as a result, I was under the impression that the operations didn't commence until such time as that BAE 145 was in town. But anyway, I'm obviously wrong. Dom, indeed, nitrogen bottles. He's got it bang on there, hasn't he? Joe Spitfire MOD. The MOD, interesting, gave the cafe owner a 10-year plan to upgrade the building. Blimey, 10 years? 10 years? Flipping heck, do it in 6 to 8 months, can't you? 10 years? Oh, it's totally empty now. Well, obviously they didn't have enough money to make those changes. Didn't the lady say that they were going to get a container up there, like a 40-foot container or something, and cut the sides out? But because I think the structure of the cabin was absolutely rotten. I think it was literally like one of those old wooden cabins you had at school, you know, kind of a temporary structure. And as a result of that, I think it just got rotten. Dying 78 Rab H. Amy Ward. A beautiful sunrise. Good morning to you, Amy. Yes. It looks like it, doesn't it? But it's actually not. The sun's over. Already up, I think. Delta Tango. What is the service life of an MOD Typhoon? I think these aircraft, I was talking to Andy a little bit earlier on, that these things have been here since, I think, 2003, in service since 2003, I believe. Some notable key dates to consider. Of course, we've talked many times before about Coningsby being used as a bomber command station in 1941, before obviously the Dambusters raid, which was in 43. The Dambusters was the Dambusters at that time, 617 Squadron. In fact, 617 Squadron was formed specifically by Guy Gibson for that particular raid. It continued on, obviously, after the raid, but it was down the road where they were based initially, and then they were later stationed here. Very interesting factoids you can read up on that. 1960 was the arrival of the Phantom here at RAF Coningsby, and of course just absolutely, once again, a bit like the whole thing with not seeing Concorde in operation live on Big Jet TV. One of those moments in time where you're just a little bit disappointed that you missed out on those key times, like with the Vulcan as well. Wouldn't it have been fantastic to see the Vulcan live? We've caught I think the closest we've done with the Vulcan, of course, was the live engine runs that we did with her. That's a generator, ground power unit. There's the security guys who gave us a wave earlier on. Yeah, so key moments in the history of Coningsby. 1976, was when RAF Coningsby became home of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. And then 2008, okay, I'm 5 years out on that one. 2008, the Typhoon aircraft replaced the Tornado. 87, the Tornado came into service, replacing the Phantom. And the Tornadoes were replaced by the Typhoon in 2008, and they have been in service ever since. Now, a lot of these Typhoons, of course, you know, in terms of their service history, in terms of how long they've been in service, only these guys know. But obviously, they go through some pretty serious upgrades, I would say. It's quite interesting, actually. Last night, I kind of really delved into the whole Typhoon history. The Hawker Typhoon, of course, the Eurofighter Typhoon is given its name based on, of course, it's the Eurofighter out in Germany. They apparently, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but apparently they don't like using the word Typhoon because the Hawker Typhoon was the aircraft that more or less became a very, very efficient fighter bomber later on in the war. Very late on in the war, it has to be said. And was very, very efficient, especially very late on in the war when it became the Tempest with the Griffin engine. Became the, I think, the fastest and most effective aircraft of the Second World War, outshining the likes of the long-nosed Dora. Was it the Focke-Wulf 190, I think it was. But this, of course, is the Eurofighter Typhoon. Why it was given the Typhoon, the Phoon title, whether that's just the RAF, I don't know. But as you can see, if you remember, if you're knowledgeable about your fighters of the Second World War, the Hawker Typhoon had a great big chin on it. Below the engine cowl, there was a huge, great big air scoop, which obviously cooled the engine. Later variants had the cooling fins in the actual wing, the leading edge of the wing itself, allowing them to completely enclose the engine, making it massively more efficient and faster. Whether they stole that idea from the Schwarzers, I don't know. But you know, in those times, capturing an enemy aircraft was tantamount to finding out what the secret was of the enemy's success. And I believe that the Germans did capture a Tempest, but it was too late, too little, too late. I'm going to give these guys a wave here. Look. Let's give them a wave. Look. Patrolling RAF Coningsby. But yeah, great. Of course, Hawker / Hawker Siddeley went on to produce some amazing jet planes as well, and of course they were responsible for the Hawker Hurricane as well. The Hawker Typhoon was actually a later development. Very early variants of it looked very much, had a tail section that resembled the Hurricane back end tail section. In fact, they had quite a few tail section failures where the actual empennage became actually split off the aircraft. I think one of the test pilots, I seem to recall reading, one of the test pilots, he could actually see because it was after the cockpit, where the empennage or the back end of the aircraft was fixed to behind the cockpit, almost like a bulkhead kind of thing. And apparently during one of the tests, a high-speed test, that part of the aircraft became unhinged, and rather than bail out, the pilot actually managed to bring it back. He actually won a medal for that. But I think 560 miles an hour or something like that was the top end speed of the last Tempest, and that was as a result of the Griffin engine being used. They tried a number of different engines on it, but the Griffin engine was the Rolls-Royce. I think it was a Rolls-Royce Griffin that was the final engine that was used. Who was it? I'm just trying to think of the name. Squadron leader who took the place of. Come on, boys! It's 9:30, boys and girls. We need to get some aircraft in the air, because I've got some people watching live from around the world right now who want to see some jet fighters, and as a lot of people say, feel the noise. And the crazy thing is that you do actually, well, it's a bit like the old Trent 7s, isn't it? It's a lot of engines, you actually feel the noise, you actually, the rumble of it. Blooming heck, it's cold. Wow, got 3 layers on. So of course we've discussed it many times before, but there are a number of squadrons operating out of RAF Coningsby, all with their own markings, and they are something that you can see. Some of them do not have markings. I have been led to believe that some of those are the QRAs, but I think 9 Squadron is the QRA squadron. Am I right in saying that, or is it 3? One of the two anyway. 12 Squadron, they've got a fox on a fox's head on their ensign. Is it an ensign? Call it an ensign. Just have a look at that. Ensign. Almost like an insignia. Yeah, emoji, like that would be in modern day. It would be an emoji, wouldn't it? The emoji on the tail. 12 Squadron, 3 Fighter Squadron. They've got the Griffin, and we have seen the 3 Squadron jets before with the yellow and green ensign. I've got to get this right now. It's going to get in me. Hold on a minute. Oh, okay, so an ensign is a flag or a standard. So I think we'll go with that. I think we can quite happily go with that. So they're markings or whatever you want to do. 12 Squadron, 3 Squadron, Fighter Squadron. 9 Squadron is also Fighter Squadron. I think they think this might be 3 or 9 over here, but 29 Squadron, 41 Squadron. They also have the 7th Force Protection Wing here as well. Not sure. I've read that one out before. Is that a new arrival to Coningsby? Of course, Battle of Britain Memorial Flight as well, based here. Chris Nichols is a new member. Welcome, Chris. Good to see you here. Squadron emblem, yeah, there we go. Yeah, like that. Okay, Mick Moffat, HS748. Logo Barbara Twiss. Early bird almost makes it a documentary. I'm looking forward to seeing some military jets at the Australian International Air Show in March, Sarah Leckie saying. Sounds fantastic. Jill Swift. History lesson. Well, you know, you've got to waffle on quite a lot when you're doing this kind of thing, because when nothing happens, I said when nothing happens, come on, hurry up. Okay, so Peregrine Bush saying that 9 is up at Lossiemouth. Interesting, because X1 is 11, isn't it? My apologies. I got me X's and me I's around the wrong way. XI is 11 Squadron, is it not? Yeah, sorry. I got it round the wrong way. 1X is 9, and of course Peregrine getting it right there, correcting me that they are based up in Lossiemouth, of course. Yeah, it was. Oh, blimey! Hold on a minute. What was his name? Sorry about that. Let's just have a look here. Yeah, there's quite a significant amount of of course, it's RAF Scampton just up the road. Not very. Oh, okay. I've got jets starting up, folks. Yep, that is definitely a jet starting up. F2000, I think, is the engine that powers the or the twin-engined aircraft, of course. It's a Canard jet, which. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Of course, it was later, after Guy Gibson unfortunately didn't make it back from a raid in a Mosquito. After the Dam Busters raid, he went on to fly the Mosquito on low-level bombing missions, and unfortunately we don't know whether he struck something at low altitude or whether he was hit by flak or whatever it would be, but obviously very lucky to catch somebody at that altitude with a flak gun, but who knows. Unfortunately, the legend Guy Gibson was knocked out of the sky, and Leonard Cheshire took his place. And interestingly enough, he went on. Leonard Cheshire it's very interesting to look up his history with Leonard Cheshire, because he went on to help veterans of World War II who were struggling, and later on created the Leonard Cheshire Foundation, and these days you still see the shops on the high street. How many there are, I don't know, but it's all charitable stuff. His wife went on to continue, but Cheshire led the 617's raids on the Tirpitz, I think it was, with the huge earthquake bombs that they used to literally blow that thing out of the water. I think it was the yeah, we got jets. Hello, mate. How are you? That's a very nice hat. Oh, mate, you're a star. Oh, they're raspberry ones as well. It's just for me and Jilly. Yes. Oh, you're a legend, mate. You're a legend.
Yeah, we come yesterday.
You what?
We come yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Expecting to see me.
Huh?
Expecting to see me.
Yeah, well, only had enough to live there, so
Right, right.
pop over and see, yesterday afternoon.
Yeah. Let's give you some stickers, my friend. Stickers for mini rolls. This is fair trade, isn't it? What's that, mate? The what? Oh yes. Thank you, sir. Yes, thank you very much indeed. Yes. Who uses them these days? I mean, but yeah, and the thing is that you quite easily find that on the executive's agenda desk. So it's a beautiful. Should donate one to the wing commander here at Coningsby. You know, they're the sort of people that use the fountain. You know? Oh really? Oh, what's that? Just because no one turns up, or? With the park, with the amount of people turning up. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good compromise, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, yeah. Got Rolls Royce around here somewhere. Right, I've got to get up here. I'm ready to go. Thank you, my friend. Oh, yeah. Wish you all the best, my friend. Thank you very much indeed. Lovely chap here. Okay. Now, no, I'm going to leave the cats there. Yeah, you're just leaving. The cats are getting making their own way down on the train. They're coming down on the train. Something firing up over there. I'm not going to say it sounds like it's going to be a busy day, because when that happens, I always generally get it wrong. 88 kkc. See, they've wheeled a lot of these jets out from their bunkers earlier on before we went live, so Anita. Yeah. What a trade that was, though. A couple of sticks for a 6-pack of for a 10-pack as well. Yeah, 10-pack. Oh, here we go. Canopies up. When the canopies go up, that means we're sort of like getting down to business. Craig B F-15's just taken off at Lakenheath. Dom H, Fastest Funk, Andy P, Abby Garvey, David Bowman. Chachi will greet them at the station. his little suit. It's his little limo, yeah. So the great thing is, folks, that if you haven't joined us at RAF Coningsby before. They will taxi out. Those aircraft from over that side will obviously taxi out down that way over the other side of the airfield, but these ones that you can just about hear starting up over there will be taxiing right past our position here, so we should get some decent waves. Depends on you know, whether they can be bothered, whether they are happy pilots, or whether they just want to get on with their job and not interested in people watching them. Joe Thompson, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Joe Foxon, I'll have a go. NJ. Early bird. Jamie Lee Wiley. Yes, Jamie, we will see action today. And I have a feeling also that the audio will be pretty damn fantastic as well. I'll tell you what, I could probably do with big shout out to again to Andy for very kindly going off and getting coffees. Lovely thing to do. Here they come, folks. Here they come. Hello. Couple of practice. That's a. I think that's an extra fuel tank slung under his belly. Laser guided or laser. I'm sure somebody like Dom is going to let us know exactly what those are. Flipped onto the wing rails there. That's a happy pilot. That's a happy pilot right there. Yeah. Raw Jet A1, man. Raw. Oh, that is raw. Oh, that is a very nice smell. Yeah, it does indicate that these aircraft may be. It's either they're going to be going out for a long time, or they're going to use reheat or afterburner on the takeoff. Unlikely, I would have thought, but. Damon Hill, isn't it? It's funny. You do get them. You do get them. Okay. Okay. Is that a two-ship? Is that just a two-ship going up? I think it might be. Nice warm. Okay, get ready for this, folks. Heat going on over there, and there's a lot of heat going on over there. Of course, the canard wing that you hear being mentioned sometimes is that you can see it's in the downward position at the moment. I think the main reason for them being flipped all the way down is actually for access, pilot access. Interestingly enough, the original Hawker Typhoon had what they called a car door style access. Literally opened the door, it was like a side door access for a car before they went to the all bubble style canopy. Okay, two jets. That's the last port of call for the aircraft. It's literally a visual inspection by the teams there. That's been in that kind of that kind of operation for many years, right the way back to World War II and prior to that, where you would get the green light from the teams there. One last final one. If you're in any way a historian with Bomber Command, you will see quite a few examples of bombers that are lining up by the ready to go out on raids, and you would see a number of the personnel from the airfield giving them a wave off on their way. Okay, this should be good, folks. You there, GP? Copy? bloody is that? Just stand by. Good shit, what's going on here, mate? Can you hear me, Jilly? Do you copy, Jilly? Cool, Benny. It's cool, Benny. Seriously, mate? Seriously? Oh, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Can you hear me, Chilly? Can you hear me? Flipping heck, man. No, yeah, well, headset just, I don't know. Just beyond belief, man, sometimes the communications of these things, just my bleeding head. Anyway, whatever. Wow, there's a lot of jets coming out, man. 2, 4, 6 at the moment. Oh, this is going to do my head. Can't be doing this. Okay, stand by. I can always bring mine over, mate. Come on. Don't give me this. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, man. No, I'm just trying to eliminate this thing from. I've got the. It's just difficult to explain. I'm trying to explain. Don't worry about it. Just doing me bleeding head in. I can't do that. Seriously. I can't get through there. I'm alive. Okay. Can I get through there? Waited for me, which is quite nice of them, isn't it? Now, interesting. different squadron jets, man. Yeah. Group, four ship going out. Now, sometimes you do get them lining up. Yeah, looks like these guys are on a relatively long mission in terms of the fact that they've got the belly tanks. Turn and burn. What's that, GP? It's commonly known in terms of the stability of these aircraft. Oh, it's fire up, isn't it? Oh, is that the old, I think it's a Jenny going, that's a Jenny firing up possibly. Good old Smoky Joe, the fire. Yeah, these aircraft are Group Captain Billy Cooper. He took command of RAF Coningsby in October 2022. So yeah, I don't think we've been here since October 2022, or prior to that really. Prior to this, he worked as the Typhoon Program Director with capability at Air Command. Group Captain Cooper began his career on Tornado aircraft, a big favourite amongst all of many jet fighter enthusiasts. The Tornado, always remember them at the air shows, man, like screaming over the top. Because when I was a young lad, the Tornado would have been the front line fighter jet, I think, replacing the Phantom, which was still being shown at the airfield, at the air displays as well. The Phantom, the Tornado, the Lightning, of course, from way back in the I think late 60s, very early 70s. The Lightning, yes, the Lightning. He's actually served at Coningsby on 2 previous occasions, flying Typhoon aircraft with 3 fighter squadron. So a lot of history with Group Captain Billy Cooper. Of course, we've probably mentioned it a couple of times before, but this is one of 2 quick reaction alert squadron bases. The other one, of course, up in Lossiemouth, up there in Scotland. I would imagine at the moment, based on the situations, the situation out there in, well, with Russia, should I say, that we are probably on quite high alert status at the moment. So these guys can scramble and get these things up in the air within minutes. Of course, they are. I think they have a. I don't know if they have the same startup system as the quick start system, like they did with the Vulcan, where it was literally press a button and bosh, that button would activate all the systems and get the whole aircraft up and running. Unlike normally, where the pilots would get into the aircraft and set the aircraft up and so on and so forth. You know, normal starting procedures. But I think I'm not sure if these Phoons are equipped with a quick start system. I'd imagine that the ground crew will more than likely get the aircraft ready. So along with the flight crew that are literally sitting in their huts, just like they did back in the Battle of Britain with the Spitfires, waiting, sitting there, smoking their pipes and reading the newspaper in the big leather armchair, in their little wooden huts. Much the same is today, where they are obviously in much more luxurious surroundings, I'd imagine, but much the same, you know, sitting there, you know, playing chess maybe, you know. Anyway, whatever. It's also, of course, the home here at Coningsby of 2 frontline combat-ready squadrons, and is also a training station for the Typhoon as well. So we will see, more than likely, I'd imagine, 1 or 2. I think that one on the left there that we're seeing, those 2 jets there, I think that one on the left there may be a trainer, identifiable by its elongated canopy, for the instructor to sit in the back, and the and the trainee or the sprog to sit up front. 3,000, around 3,000 service personnel operational here at Coningsby. It's a massive piece of land. We're only getting to see a very small part of it here, but yes, it is a very impressive fighter station. Now, one of those jets that we saw going up there, I think was 41 Squadron, the one that came past us here. The other ones, I'm not sure of, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not familiar with those tail markings. Paul Klingo. Roll on air show season, yes indeed. We were led to believe that there was a planned display here yesterday, but Andy, who went out and got the coffee, of which mine has now gone cold, I think. Has it gone cold? Oh my god, cold. Oh my god, cold. That's cold. Oh, flipping it. Okay. Oh yeah. Ugh. Great on a nice hot sunny day in Los Angeles, but not RF Coningsby when it's minus whatever it is. What's that? What's that? So, one would hope that is the one thing with when we're at fighter stations like this. You know, once they've gone out, and that's all you get until literally they come back. Now, when they come back, normally we would expect to see a break over the field, maybe a very rarely do they come back on their own. Usually it's a minimum of 2 aircraft which will overfly the field and break off and then come back. Possibly more often than not they will do touch and go exercises here at RAF Coningsby. They're more prone to doing it, I have to say, here at the RAF stations rather than the folks down at Lakenheath. Wowut! Something different from London Heathrow. There we go. So that might be Wowut's. I hope I've pronounced that right. Wowut. Their first experience with Big Jet TV at RAF Coningsby. Of course, if you're not fully aware, I'm a huge aviation fan in general, but I love my military stuff as well. You know, helicopters, big helicopters. Love the Chinook. Love the rocket launching helicopters, the gunships as they're commonly known. Fighter jets, the bombers, you know, everything, right the way through the whole historical side of things, right from the get-go, the early stuff, the historical aircraft, right the way through to the modern day stuff. So I get just as much enjoyment out of watching these things go out as I do watching at London Heathrow or wherever I might be in the world. And it is just great to share it with all of you lot. That's the most that's the key factor to all of this. We were actually Gilly and I were interviewed by a pretty major publishing company the other day, who are going to be putting another piece out, an article on Big Jet TV, and one of the things I kept emphasising was that I might well love everything that I do here, and you know, being able to see it and get to watch all of this stuff, but it would not be the same without the audience. I have to say, being able to talk to the audience and in a lot of cases help people get over boredom or health issues that they might have, you know, just a break from the norm, if you know what I mean. And hopefully your husband's name's not Norman. I like a break from norm. Tell me about it. GSH, my almost 3-year-old is watching and charging around with his toy fighter jet saying, "It's Jerry flying the plane." Oh, bless him. What's that, GP? Oh, yeah. Paul Klingo, loving the jet noise. Sam Robson, Jilly, could you tell me how to find the code for discount? Okay, you've got that. Mank Red, Sarah Faro, Wowett, Philip Sinclair. Benjamin McNally is a returning member. Welcome back, Benjamin. Hamo 19, Typhoon's currently playing over North Yorkshire moors. Cool, how about that? Graham Hesp. I don't like to hit like straight away in case the coverage isn't up to scratch. Brilliant. Alex Hilton. Yeah, no, that's very true indeed. Yes. That's one thing that we didn't mention. And to be honest with you, whenever you've had a chat with somebody, you're always later on thinking, "Ah, oh, darn it, didn't mention that." You know, the trouble is when you start talking to me about something, you very rarely manage to get a word in edgeways. You know, it was like, yes, but is it? Oh, yeah, but obviously, do you mind to tell me? Oh. It's like still talking half an hour on. He could have put the phone down, gone home, had a half-hour kip, come back, and I'd still be waffling on. But yeah, it's when something like that happens, you're trying to get as much out as you possibly can, aren't you? So you're literally going at a million mile an hour. Carl Hanlon, Flight Radar 24, showing a tanker and Falcon all waiting for showtime. Alex Hilton, Kelvin Grant. Lloyd Bell just had the Poseidon flyover from Lossiemouth. Caledonian Sleeper. Mikoto's off to bed, only for Big Jet. I would stay up after a grueling frozen 12-hour night shift. Enjoy the rest of the fighter jets. Wow, Mikoto. I think I've missed Makoto, possibly gone off to bed. Wow, 12 hours. That's fair play. That's a good shift. It's Joe Spitfire 19. First set was 29 squadrons. Second set was 41. Then ones from the opposite side were 25 aircraft used by either 3 or 11 squadron. Joe Spitfire, thank you so much. Great information there. That's the kind of stuff we like to hear. Alex Hilton, tankers have been flying around a lot this week over Cambridgeshire and Norfolk. Mank Red, Alan Yalden, Flight Ride 24 showing Eurofighters from Waddington, Cranwell, and none from Coningsby. Joe Foxon, Hamo 19, according to Wiki, the RAF have 101 active Typhoons. That's a seriously good number, isn't it? You can certainly do a lot of damage with 101 Typhoons, but whether they are all in active service, away possibly, I'd imagine, on overseas, on exercises there maybe. Ian Wilson, I'm old enough to remember the red and white Eurofighter mock-up at Farnborough in the 80s. Wow, yeah, I remember way back in those days seeing white one. I don't know, but yeah, of course it is a European consortium, is it not? A bit like Airbus, really, the Eurofighter program. Of course, way old now. Germany, is it Germany, France, Spain, and the UK? I'm sure someone will let me know. Bootle lad, Graham Hesp, Nicholas Sherwood, Fear Love, good morning to you. Paul Jones, I have not been in a helicopter, and to be honest with you, not really interested. You know, I love watching helicopters. I love the sound of them, but I'm just not interested in actually going on one. Chris Wilson, remember seeing the EAP flying. Mr. Young, good day to you. Hobby time. The Canberra was a fighter bomber based in Germany. Yeah, the Canberra. Used to see them at the air shows as well, of course. And of course, RAF Luton using a Canberra for all of their photography these days. John Grinham, can you tell? You can tell spring is around the corner. Flipping it. It's bleeding freezing here at the moment, I tell you. Island Life, we got Benjamin McNally back, didn't we? Linda, good morning to you. On her break, Ellie and Fear of Flying, Jerry. Thank you. Yes, I think that is related to the mention of the. Yeah, we have helped a number of people in terms of the fear of flying. Ironically enough, lots of people have overcome their fear of flying by watching Storm Eunice. And that is purely down to realising how much faith they have now in the pilots. Had an absolutely fantastic message from Captain Chris Pole the other day, Virgin Atlantic, very well known on Instagram. Lovely message from him, which really sort of like very much humbled me. It is quite amazing how far we have come here on Big Jet TV in terms of people acknowledging us and respecting us, especially from the pilot community, even training captains. British Airways training captain, met one the other day outside after I finished streaming at London Heathrow. Came up to me. The woman that he was with had absolutely no clue who I was. This is a legend, he's a legend. And she was like, well, I don't know, I've got no idea who he is. Okay, yeah, but anyway, wanted his picture taken. And he very kindly told me that, you know, he and his colleagues and also a lot of the training captains with British Airways appreciate and acknowledge the fact that I know what I'm talking about, which was even more amazing. There you go, anyway. Maggie, audience enhancement works both ways. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the fact that we have each other in this fantastic community is a massive bonus. Joe Foxon only gets a citation jet once a day, plus a few overflights at 35 to 40,000 feet. Talking about 40,000 feet and cruising altitude, here's an interesting factoid for you folks. The 747-400, and this is, as far as I'm aware, is the only aircraft capable of flying a commercial jet, that is, in terms of like big passenger jet, is the only aircraft capable of flying at 45,000 feet. Even the 747, its big brother, the Dash 8, does not have that capability. If you want to come in and argue that, then you're more than welcome. But it is something that I read yesterday, and it definitely came from a respectable source. And this is what I'm reading here. The Boeing 747-400 is the only heavy, wide-body aircraft that can get up to 45,000 feet. No other aircraft can fly that high, weighing this much, not even the newer 747-8 version. And that's something that I read on LinkedIn from somebody. Lloyd Bell, Typhoons launched from Lossiemouth as well, heading towards the tanker. Okay, we're hoping to see these two jets go up at some point in time, I'd imagine. Dazzle H is a new member. Welcome, Dazzle. Hope you're doing well. Folks, while you're on, I do have to tell you, we have something very... we've obviously got a show on this Sunday, but next Tuesday, you might want to spare a little bit of time in the morning through till around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We are going to be live airside at London Heathrow with Emirates Airlines and Donata. We're doing a very special turnaround show with those folks. We've been invited by Emirates Airlines, believe it or not. We've been invited by them, and a big shout out to Shannon at Red as well for organising. I want to say a big shout out in advance to London Heathrow and to all the folks there. They have all come together, and we're going to bring a fantastic show to you on Tuesday, live from London Heathrow, and then the following week we've got something that we're going to announce as well, but we're not going to talk about that just yet, but it is in relation to that. But next Tuesday, firing off around about 10 a.m, is it, Gilly? I think it's 10 a.m. We're going to be live at London Heathrow with Emirates Airlines and Donata, and that is basically focusing on a turnaround with one of their A380s. So how many military shows we've done? 95. Oh my, seriously, wow. Oh, okay, maybe 11 a.m. then, folks. It may be 11 a.m. Yeah, and maybe I'm a little bit too early on that one, but yes. Graham Thompson, good morning. Mike, Roger, John Grinham. Going to take me about 5 years to catch up on everything. There we go. Steve Hinch. France left the Eurofighter program. Oh, okay. Steve, thanks for the update. Sandy Humby loves flying in helicopters. Scotty Tarpley, good morning to you. Hope you are well. Stephen Billings. There is a live fire range to the southeast of where Jerry is. It's part of the Wash. There are videos of A64s and F-15s doing runs at it. That the Wash. That's isn't that where we went with when we drove all the way up there and we'd got Donanook, yeah, we got a helicopter and that was it. Laura saw 2 Chinooks while driving home from work the other day. Very difficult to concentrate on the road when they're around. Yeah, you can hear those things if you can't see them. Big Jacko's Gaming, g'day, can't wait for the Avalon Air Show in Australia. Yeah, we've obviously, you know, don't get me wrong, folks, I absolutely love air shows, but from a technical standpoint, from a technical aspect, they're very difficult to stream at, purely because of the fact that if you can imagine having a dry sponge, yeah, having a dry sponge and having a bucket of water, take the sponge as your connectivity, as in your data, yeah, and then have your bucket of water as the people, you know, the crowds, and then drop your sponge in the bucket of water, and that sponge will immediately just soak up all the crowd. It's actually should be the other way round, isn't it? The data, the bucket of water is the data, and the sponge is the crowd. As soon as the crowd come into the place and fire up their phones, they soak up all the data, and therefore that's why if you go to an air show in the morning before everybody arrives and you go live and you're like this, it's all absolutely fantastic. But as soon as the displays start and people start becoming active, that's when you have issues with obviously the data being sucked up, and and you end up glitching and so on and so forth. Adele B would love to be a backseat passenger on one of these planes. Well, yeah, I mean that is one of the training jets. I think you can see on the left-hand side there. Both jets with fuel tanks slung under the wing. Nick Rose, good morning. When fully loaded with weaponry, how much heavier does the Typhoon become? Good question, that. That's something that I would have to look up on. So what is the MTOW Typhoon? Eurofighter Typhoon. Let's just see if there is any stats on it in terms of the maximum takeoff weight. 571 aircraft built as of 2020. Been in service from 1994 to present day. Let's just have a look. Variants, operators, aircraft specifications. Yeah, Iris. The Iris. I think that's. Oh, hello. Wingspan 10.95 meters, 35 feet. Wing area. Empty weight is 11,000 kilos, 24,000 pounds. Gross weight is 16,000 kilos, 35,000 pounds. I'm guessing that's, and then maximum takeoff weight is 23,500 kilos. So basically, you're talking about 12,000 kilos. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. 12,000 kilos. So potentially 12 tons of ordnance. Is that me? Is that me getting it completely wrong, or have we got an exercise going on here? I think maybe. Navy Man 76, we were flying at 41,000 feet on Virgin 330 on Sunday. Yeah. I've been up that high, but 45,000 feet? Excuse me. Dom H flew a flight in the jump seat the whole way takeoff to landing the other week. We'll remember that for years, Dom H, yes. Amazing experience. I was lucky enough to fly all the way back in the day on my old man's Bristol Britannia and many times on his DC-8 as well. Traveller, I think that is. Is that the 747 type that Virgin Orbit used it? Yeah, well, Virgin Orbit's 747 is indeed a 747-400, one of the old passenger jets. Joe Fox is saying it's the only heavy wide-body aircraft that can go that high. It's very different to saying it's the only commercial jet that can. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because obviously. The commercial, you know, you could look at one of the private jets which can fly at significantly high altitudes, but I'm not sure if you know, a wide body is anything from, you know, 767 up to 747. So yeah, it kind of covers quite a big area, doesn't it? Neil Barnett, loads of Dreamliners on flight radar flying at 41,000 feet. Yep, but they're still not flying at 45,000 feet, are they? Diane 78, Sarah Leckie, VAP is at Cosford. Alexandra Wood, Andy P, Calvin Grant. Yes, we are going to get up close and personal with the big lad. It's going to be an amazing show on Tuesday. Trumpet. Hopefully it'll be a little bit bleeding warmer. We had inklings of spring the other day, didn't we? And now it's gone all the way back to winter time again. Don't you love it? Darren Golding, lots of Chinook action over Reading on Wednesday. Puss in PJs took the wrong week off. Love the Emirates 380. Fiona A. Just finished work then. Brilliant. Stuart Watson. James Clark. Ralph Skyperian. Nick Gray. Seriously? Kenwatt 100. Lufthansa bragged that its 747-400 could reach the highest altitude in its fleet with a maximum service ceiling of 44,947 feet. The modern 747-8, which has a service ceiling of 43,000 feet. There we go. Mark Roberts, good morning to you. John Grinham. I remember seeing Concorde over the Bristol Channel, slowly coming back from a Mercia. Okay, I'm sure that might be a typo, I'm not sure, but John Grinham, I think that might have been the retirement flights, perhaps. I saw an amazing picture last night and read the story that came with it, with the Concorde formation flight, 4 of Concorde's jets, British Airways Concordes flying in formation. It was the picture itself. The photograph was taken on I think it was Christmas Eve, 1970 something or other. No, sorry, 1980 something or other. And it was the only opportunity they had to photograph these aircraft in formation. I think it was the 10th anniversary of Concorde's flying that they were they took these photographs for. Whether they did any videography, I'm not sure, but it was. It's a beautiful image. It's the diamond formation with Concorde, and I'm sure there's lots and lots of pictures circulating around the world of it. I'm sure a few people have maybe even got a picture on the wall that's framed. Wouldn't surprise me that, because it was a beautiful image, because it was a murky day, and they managed to fly up through the clouds, join up in formation. All the Concordes flown by experienced and established Concorde pilots. Empty aircraft, of course, no passengers on board, because the aircraft were not in service on that day, Christmas Eve. And apparently they had to fix or fit a specific type of glazing to the windows of the aircraft that they use for the GP. Can you drop the is that Julie, can you drop the audio possibly? Julie, can you hear me? Hello? Sorry folks, getting a bit of feedback. Yeah, beautiful image. And BOAB was one of those aircraft, and of course we know about the history of BOAB sitting there at London Heathrow. I wouldn't say neglected, because you know, she's there, at least she is there, and in some way being looked after, although I don't think there's any specific team or anybody that sort of like is responsible for her. Every time I taxi past her, I cringe with the amount of paraphernalia that surrounds her. She represents an amazing time in aviation, and was really at that point in time the future of aviation, with the you know, the what people were looking at in terms of the future of SST, supersonic travel. GP, when you're back, can you turn the audio down, mate, please? GP, can you hear me? Right, okay. Yeah, can you turn the audio down? I'm getting really bad, not feedback, but I'm just, all I can hear is myself talking on your, I can't hear it anymore now. Oh, okay. Okay, alright. Traveller, Chinooks are definitely more waka waka. They are, aren't they? No, it's fine, man. It's fine. It's just. I can. Because you laid it down. It was obviously. It was all I could hear was myself yakking on. Oh, Donanook and the Wash are two different places, Kay Shaw saying. Okay, well, I got that one wrong then. Isn't the Wash further up than Donanook, or is it further down? It's south, right, it's south of Donanook. Right, there we go. Tony Austin, good morning. Watching, but a bit late, coming on chat. Good day to you, Tony. Hope you're doing well. Sam Robbs, and looking well, of course. Metaphors TV, Nick Gray. James Clark, what's better, 747 or 380? That's a question that will run and run, I think. Roadrunner 1981, my other YouTube account got hacked, so I lost 9 years of hard work. No way. Roadrunner, that's terrible, my friend. Air Action 2257, Ralph Scapirian, Matt Cat Lady, Jeffrey Butler. Flew from Wisley to Wharton in the 60s on a Heron to see the lightning maintenance. Followed a railway line all the way, stopped at Rolls-Royce Hucknall on the way back. Great, wow, apprenticeship trip. Jeffrey Butler, wow, Wisley to Wharton. That would have been Wisley's. Was that with the VC10 and the BAC 111? I think was tested there. I think it was the sort of like, you know, it was the test station. Once the aircraft have been assembled, it went from there to Wisley for testing, I think. Type 009 appears to be returning, Lloyd Bell saying. Okay, so I need to keep my eye out to the east. And that is directly east, isn't it? Oh, is he? Michael Chase is a new member. G'day, Michael. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining. Good day to you and all our amazing members. Amazing, I have to say, folks, because you are an amazing bunch of people. Proper curvature of the earth stuff that is being up that high. Eve Hosgood, yes, indeed. Incredible. I mean, we're talking getting to that. I don't know what's the altitude that they call the coffin area, which is where the spy plane flies up to. I think it's the coffin barrier or something like that. Not the coffin as in, like, you know, you're dead in a box kind of coffin. Oh, here we go. Got one coming out now. Oh, bless. Oh, that's funny, man. Told her friends on Monday that she'd been to Donald Duck. Sweet. There's the coffee, man. There's Andy down there. All right, Andy, mate. Hey! Proudly showing off his sweatshirt there. How about that? Good lad. coffee as well this morning because I've had my first. I didn't bother with breakfast at the thingamajig because it was off. It was at 7:30, so I thought, you know, 7:30 is sitting around waiting, be 8 o'clock before it comes. You know, the Lee Gate Inn, folks. I have to say, staying at the Lee Gate Inn. It's a lovely little pub. Been around since the 1500s, I believe, or late 1500s. Not very far away from the. Okay. In fact, I think you can actually see it almost in the distance here. It's not it there, is it? I don't know, but it's off there in the distance. Anyway, okay, there's me saying that you very rarely see a single jet returning, and here's one now. Okay, let's see what this one does. Coffin corner, that's it. Nice. Gonna crank it left at some point, I'd imagine. Or is it just gonna be a nice lazy turn left? Oh, right, okay. So the canard wing, which is like those whiskers that you see at the front of the aircraft there, used in the stabilisation of the aircraft in flight. Oh, is there another one behind it, is there? It's a long way behind it, I can't see it yet. No? Oh yeah, here she is, okay. Second one on approach. Gear on, man, and your eyes start watering. You got to take all your gloves off. Oh, dear. Try and get your glasses back on. Then your glasses steam up. Yeah, the canard, the front canard wing is kind of like almost because the aircraft doesn't have a horizontal stabilizer per se. These canard wings are used in the stabilization of the aircraft and maneuver, I'm guessing, ever so slightly, not massively, just slight, tiny incremental movements is all you need. Sometimes you see a big plume of smoke come out the back of the jet. It might do a missed approach style go around. Just at the threshold mark. Sorry, I meant ailerons, didn't I? I've got no excuse on that one, have I? Ailerons, of course. It's they act as ailerons. Well, I don't know actually. Maybe they do in some way act on because they have no elevators per se. Are they elevons? Are they otherwise known as elevons, perhaps? We're talking about that canard wing there that you're looking at. Let's get an update on those two jets over there. Okay. Nothing at this moment, but the fact that the canopies are up would indicate, I'd imagine, that they would be, unless there's just some general sort of like inspections or something going on there, but the fact that both of them have got the canopies up kind of indicates to me that there's yeah. Well, it just didn't get to the point of it just said when I went back to the screen, it didn't say complete or anything like that. It didn't say anything like that, you know. It's just like, you know, you did it, it loaded, and then it went back to the screen. Update. I can't remember, to be honest with you, Jelly, mate. Yeah, well, I think that was successful. I think that was successful. Jan Cook, good morning. Alan Crossan 314 is behind this one. Jeffrey Butler, BAC 111, built that Hearns some final assembly at Weybridge. Flight testing at Wisley. There we go. So I was right in that one. Leagate is a superb place to eat, drink and stay overnight. Joe Spitfire saying, yeah, Leagate, the Leagate Inn, folks. And the rooms are not expensive, but you would expect them to be when you go in there and have a look at them, because they are very luxurious. But yes, indeed, a great place to stay. And of course, in the summer, got a lovely big garden there as well. So, Nick Gray, Simon Knock, Togo, Ewan Weech, Air France, Dreamliner, Squawking 777, returning to CDG after being en route to Cape Town. Okay, interesting. Okay. Oh look, is that a run and break? Yeah, he's going over the top. This guy's going over the top. Flat out, man. Well, not flat out. Wish he was. Yeah! Oh, so much fun doing that, man. You imagine the dreams these guys have, man. Kind of looks a little bit spindly and odd when it's got its gear down, doesn't it? It looks a bit vulnerable. That was awesome, man. That was awesome. Okay. That was a long loop for this Phoon. Of course, they called the bomb Phoon, didn't they? The Typhoon, when it was, because a lot of people will think of the Typhoon back in the day as having rockets on it, but it had two options: rockets or bombs. bank. Nice low level bank there. I think they're someone's going to correct me on it, aren't they? Someone's going to let me know, but I think the especially Dom knows his stuff, doesn't he? The outboard ordnance that you see on the wing looks a bit like a sort of like a sidewinder missile. I think they are they're the ones that are hanging from the racks. I don't know if these have actually got any on. Maybe they have. Have they or not? Yeah, they have. They have. I think laser guided practice, where the target will be set up and almost like a it's got to be touch and go, that, isn't it? Oh, no, he's down, he's down. That's those canard wings up the front, also being used as ground spoilers or speed brakes, whichever way you want to describe it. Sorry about that. Oh, just putting the rubbish out. Nice. How quick that turns, man. That's such a quick turn. Another one in the circuit. It's the latest arrival. What's he going to do? Or she? See that using his it's a big ailerons then, isn't it? It's literally the whole wing, the back end of the wing is an aileron. Or elevon, should we say. see that? That's what I just said, elevons, isn't it? It's all acting as an aileron, but it's got a double usage, isn't it? Elevators and ailerons. Obviously, to get that thing in the air, it's a bit like it's noticed on the some of the Boeing jets, where the as you're on approach, the speed brakes are kind of used as a stabilisation flight surface, along with, of course, the ailerons themselves. Dazzle H, love the power down to drop the nose. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? H ammo 19, Mycroft 1905, ailerons, no elevons. Yeah, as I was mentioning, the on some of these jet fighters, they have a double usage, elevons being elevators and ailerons, a mix between the two, double usage, of course, like I said. And also, you know, like we've seen with the big commercial jets like the Boeing jets, 777, flapperons, where it's a double usage, flaps and ailerons. So there is, you know, and like I said, like I was just saying about some of the Boeing jets, you see, I've noticed on approach on some of the Boeing jets where you see the flight surfaces making slight tiny incremental movements, which are kind of acting alongside the ailerons themselves. But of course, once they're on the ground, bang, up they come, and they're used as speed brakes or ground spoilers, whichever way you want to describe them. But very, very intelligent, these aircraft, in terms of their using flight surfaces for more than one type of operation. EGPX Concorde had elevons, yes indeed. Again, like we were saying, it doesn't have a horizontal stabilizer, so the elevators are not there. So they would use part of the wing flight surfaces to act as those elevators, but also to work as ailerons as well. So, which is why they're given the double name of elevons. Lloyd Bell, BAE 145, just departed Lossy Mouth for Coningsby. Mycroft 1905, no brake chutes. They do from time to time, Mycroft. You might see, in fact, funny enough, last time we were here, literally, as I was driving down the end of the road, I saw one of the aircraft returning, and it was using its brake chutes. Nissim, good afternoon to you. Jennifer Jordan, early bird. That wheelie moments where you're wondering, will it stay or will it go? Yes, indeed. Stuart Watson, good day to you. Nick Rose, Volavents, Vons, Mycroft, elevon standard on Delta wing form. There we go. BBLLB saw my first typhoon, or well, 8 typhoons at Red Flag yesterday on a layover in Las Vegas. Nick Gray got quick reaction F-15 somewhere in Massachusetts. Big Al's playing. Good day all. Too excited to talk to Jerry. You sound quite like you're in a library. David Edwards. David Edwards. Elevons are on the trailing edge of aircraft with a delta wing platform. There we go. Platform. Yes, indeed, David. Thank you very much indeed. EGPX. Michael K. Pop It TCB is tuning in for a short time. Brian Williams, good day to you. Andy P, good morning everybody. 11:15 in the morning here in Lincolnshire. I hope you're all doing well. It's cold. It's cold. James Beatwell. These typhoons are just on training sessions at the moment. James, they would not be coming from the Ukraine war, that's for sure, because they're not active in that arena. No foreign fighters are active in that arena at the moment, and you know, nice shutdown. Who heard that shutdown? Arrow, good day to you, James Beatwell, Mycroft. Thanks for bringing us RAF Coningsby live all over the world. In Australia here, you're a ripper, Jerry. Mycroft 1905, thanks very much, mate. Nick Gray, 104th Fighter Wing at Westover, Massachusetts, Barnes Air National Guard Base, that's it. Sam T, F-15, 16, 22s and 35 have tailerons as well as ailerons to aid manoeuvrability. Tailerons. Ah, yes, of course, yes. They do have another platform, don't they? The F-15, whereas these jets have absolutely complete delta wing platforms. The F-15 does have an F-16 does have a slightly different back end to it, or empennage, which gives it that different layout. Just saw you as I'm in and out today, Busy B. Hope you're well. Cheryl Howard, James Beatwell. Move head 3 Apache helicopters land in Essex, not far from Chelmsford. Wow. Alan Smith, power down. Yes. Andreas Krugel, good day to you. Kelvin Grant. Andy Pete. Big Al's playing. Jerry, do these typhoons just the commercial airlines for practice? I wonder. Do these? Jerry, do these typhoons just the commercial airlines for practice? Okay, I can understand that. They call them trucks, don't they? Because they're so slow. Yeah, of course. Andy Parnell, great show from Toronto. Jerry, love the snowy conditions and the big snowy owl. Andy Parnell, thank you. Yeah, it was a wonderful moment, seeing that snowy owl, and we couldn't have missed him because he was right in front of us. Joe Thompson has just realised that star has turned red. Fantastic. Oh, is that start up? think they might be starting those engines up. Sounds like it. Oh, Michael White's never been a big fan of a military aircraft, but we're converting him. That's brilliant. What's that, mate?
I've got a slight problem. I'll probably use the chute.
Oh, really? We got a returning aircraft. Thanks, Andy. We got a returning aircraft that does have a problem and may well use the chute. So, folks, here we go. Bobby Fitzsimmons, check out the canards on XB70 Valkyrie. Pop it. Okay, we've got a returning aircraft, folks, that apparently has got a slight issue. And as a result, we may well see a chute being deployed, which is something you don't see very often these days. So a little bit of interesting stuff there. And what they will do is they will run the aircraft all the way out, and they will literally drop the parachute, unhitch it on the taxiway at the far end. We should see that happen. If they do, of course, deploy the chute. Should have put a couple of little things on here, shouldn't I, really? So, good luck with moving the... Okay, well, we're hearing it. Constant... Logan Life is a new member. Welcome, Logan Life. Chris Kipper Roberts of Nassau. As a portrait landscape artist, I so wish I could paint aircraft. Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, as a lover of aviation, I wish I could bleed and just draw an airplane. I mean, I was pretty terrible at it when I was at. I remember drawing pictures of my dad's DC-8. Didn't really work very well. I tried. EGPX. Wasn't the didn't the Concordsky have a very long, thin canard on the front of it? I seem to remember. Okay, are we going to see any emergency vehicles? Stuart Watson, what would be called is a barrier arrest. Yes. Now the arrestor cables are sometimes deployed here. In fact, I think you can see the arresters. That's the arrestor system there. I think they're running it. Okay, that's the opposite side. Looks like the tension is that's a pretty big old cable, isn't it? I think they literally are. I think there's possibly some kind of a recess in the runway where the cable is literally when it's de-stressed, so to speak, or detensioned, it just lays in that small recess. I think I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be right. Yeah, the TU-144 had canards, EGPX saying. Cancellation of the TSR-2 was a crime, brutal lad saying. Some of the Mirage had canards. The Kfir, an Israeli version of the Mirage, has canards. Jason Mattin, good day to you. Captain Anubis, try using grids to draw, Jerry. You'll be surprised how much it helps. Oh, I tried all that. Draw 2-inch squares on your paper, helps you draw it and doubles its size. Yeah, draw, complete section by section, I think. Big Al's playing. Tupolev, Tu-144, header, canard. Cheryl Howard. How the hell does that work? Surely the plane would catapult over it. Cheryl, no. It will have an arrestor hook, what's known as an arrestor hook, and they will obviously fly at a nose-up attitude, and much like a landing, they will flare the aircraft to allow the tail hook to catch the arrestor cable, much like on an aircraft carrier. And Pete Hibbard, yes, Coningsby did have a canard above the nose. It did, yes, it was, wasn't it? It was above the cockpit area. Thank you very much. Scotsman flying. Stuart Watson, absolutely right, Jerry. And it does appear they have pre-tensioned the cable. Oh, okay. Looks like they have pre-tensioned the cable. Could be an arrestor. So a double bubble. Maybe they're going to use the arrestor cable as an option, but he will probably have his chute ready to deploy if necessary. Mike Roger, I watched a practice barrier arrest at Lakenheath last week with an F-16. Wow, how cool is that? GPX talking to Cheryl Howard. The arrestor gear is designed so the wheels pass over the wire, but the hook on the aircraft captures it and brings the aircraft to a stop. There it goes. Yes, indeed. It's a pretty impressive copy, GP. Marianne, yes, they do indeed use arrestor systems on aircraft carriers. Okay, aircraft returning now. This is it, I think. Now, no emergency vehicles being deployed, which indicates that it's not so much an emergency, not sort of like a fire or anything that would necessitate emergency vehicles being deployed. So, now interestingly enough, that vehicle is let's just see if there's anything going on in there. Yeah, that's definitely. Okay, here we go then. Nothing moving on there, is there? maybe they were just going to check to see on the touchdown. It might not be the one, no, yeah, it might not be the one. Royal Rotary Hydraulic Arrest Gear, okay. Yeah, looks like I think it was just a possibly just the pilot calling forward just to say that they might have an issue on touchdown. So it's possibly a something's come up on the dash. Oh, okay. Now they've closed the canopy on that jet to the right there. Whether that's it doesn't look like it's running to me though. See no heat coming from the exhaust. Diane78 say it wasn't on radar. Dom H, I think that apart from the 2-pack that went out, there was a 2-ship that went out initially, and then I think it was 8 aircraft that went out, 2 from this side and 6 from the other side. I think most of them are back now. Michelle McNeil, memories of visiting Royal Australian Air Force Edinburgh and seeing the Orions. My ex was a technician on the Orions. Big Al's plane, is this short landing practice for carrier deployment? Big Al's plane. No, these aircraft do not operate from carriers. They are all land-based aircraft. There are no Typhoons. The only the most modern day jet that's operating from the carriers is the F-35B. I think all of the Harriers now, even with the American, because weren't the Americans operating Harriers at some point? I think. Alex Hilton marked us off. Foxy Pete, take care. Well, Ray B worked on Orions for 20 years, wow. Nick Gray, there's a 747. Well, just as you mentioned that, I can hear something. Oh, no, that's fighter jets over the top of me. That is not a. What is that? What is that? There's something over the top of me, man. It's not a. It's not a cruiser. It's definitely not a cruiser, man. It's definitely something at quite high altitude, but sounds... What's that? Okay, cool. Look out for emails from Shannon as well, GP. See if we get a confirmation on that video. That's quite important that we get that. Well, if it happens at all, but it'd be good to play it out. If we can't, we can't. Yeah, looks like neither of those jets are going to be deployed today. Got doors opening up. Oh, I've got no idea who Tasman over the road is. Okay, all right. Ian Peck, US Marines, Italian Navy, thinks Spanish Navy still operate AV-8B version of the Harrier 2. There we go. Yes, I kind of did think that the US Navy was still operating the VTOL, well, the Harrier. Jump jet, as it was commonly known back in the day. Nick Gray, LATAM 767. Maybe that was what it was. Maybe it was a LATAM 767. Lloyd Bell. A few folk on the Scottish Spotters group said it sounded strange after departure. Sam T, LATAM 767 just went over close to you. I think that might have been it. Just sounded very, didn't sound very commercial, if you know what I mean. Steve Hinch. RAF Coningsby was due to receive the TSR-2, which was unfortunately cancelled by the government. We have startups at the other end, folks. More jets coming out. Stuart Watson, Ralph Hooper was the Harrier lead designer, passed away in December. Marines, not Navy, Stuart Watson saying, yes, I got that wrong, sorry. James Clark, yes, I have been on an A380. Twice, actually, now. Both British Airways, but on... Tuesday we will be featuring a turnaround, a full turnaround show with Emirates Airlines at London Heathrow. More aircraft coming out from the western end of the airfield. Ben and Amy Bergman, good morning to you. Quite non-stop action, but at least we're managing to get some good stuff here. EGPX jump jet, yeah. US Marine Corps, Nigel Kling. Yep, I can smell jet A1. Whatever mixture it is that they use, I can certainly smell kerosene, put it that way. I'll turn the So this is this must be a second set going out, is it? This won't be the... I wouldn't have turned them around that quick, would they? Can you hear them, folks? Navy Man 76 seen a number of Harriers go into the drink from carriers. Oh, Stuart Watson, although the Marines are a subset of the Navy, so you were actually right. Yeah. A bit like back in the day when the United States Air Force was the United States Army, the US Army were operating B-17s. It was all sort of like kind of the same sort of thing, but I think the... was it the US Army was operating before the United States Air Force was formed? I don't know. Tell me. Put me right. Oh, Philip Thorley. It's not a silly question, Philip. Great question. Oh, that's not. They're not coming out. I wonder why. It did seem a little bit odd. That's an engine start and run up, I think. Darn it. Philip Thorley asking, with Virgin joining SkyTeam Alliance next month, how long would you imagine it be until we see the SkyTeam livery on one of their new A339s? Well, I'm not sure. I'd imagine that they would... How many 339s, first of all, does Virgin have planned? They've got 3 delivered. I think it's 5, isn't it, that they've got on the books? So maybe one of the future 339s will be will carry the livery. Well, they haven't shut that engine down actually. Still running. Nick Gray, United States Army Air Force. Is it? Narrow boat, Georgia boy. I thought the arrestor hook was to stop air sickness from the pilot, like the strip on the back of my car. Probably not at all how he talks. Weren't they for anti-static, those strips on the back of the car? Oh, Georgie boy, sorry. Georgie, narrow boy. He's probably from Norfolk or something like that. Norfolk Broads. Sorry, Georgie boy. US Army Air Forces up until 47, Jerry. Okay, Stuart Watson, thank you. Deb Butler, People's National Front of you, dear. Which weather station? Which one? Oh. Okay, so. Okay, the weather station. Would that be the weather station? Looks more like a sort of like a radar type, but maybe I don't know. Where's the weather station? Someone said about the weather station and the fact that it was yeah, it's got to be some kind of like apparatus, isn't it? Unless it is literally a building. Okay, the Marines were formed before the Navy. They were the first uniformed service in the country. Then the Navy came along and hoovered them up. Skidmark, good day. Nothing will be coming out now. Too close to dinner time, and the airfield shuts at 3 p.m. today, so not much going on to be happening from now. Oh dear. Susan, good day to you. Good question, that Diane 78. Is the jet fuel on military jets as on commercial jets? maybe Google it and let me know, folks. Philip Thorley's uncle was a flight sergeant based at RAF Wittering and spent 4 years on deployment in St. Louis, when the US Marine Corps took their initial delivery, the AV-8Bs. Stuart Watson, I'm ex-Air Force, so love a good discussion about their history. Yes. United States Air Force or Royal Air Force, Stuart? EGPX, the strips were used to discharge static, which would somehow stop you from getting motion sickness. Loads of rubbish, of course, but they were quite popular for a while. Oh, okay. I thought they were anti-static. Those strips that a lot of us had hanging from the back of our cars that you bought at Halfords. I always thought they were dragged along the road to act as anti-static strips, in other words, to stop getting struck by lightning. I got that completely wrong then. Had them off the back end of my Ford Capri. Interesting. Oh, I shot at the end of the runway. Now, which end of the runway? Okay, which? Okay. It's just. Okay, let's just have a quick scan across and see. He said great shot, didn't he? So it must have been where? Oh. Yeah. Oh, there. All that not there. Is that the weather station there? Wow. Looked like a pet cemetery for a minute. Okay, so that's the weather station there, folks. Yeah, wow. Okay, so that was used to record the hottest day ever at Coningsby or in the UK or what, I don't know. In the UK, wow. Hottest day ever was recorded from that very box there, folks. Okay, he's got a set of steps going on there, but doesn't look like it's going to be very active. And as somebody mentioned earlier on, oh, there's an RAF fella down there. There's an RAF fella down there. Looks like he might be a bit of a sprog, but even so, he might know. Well, you know, at the moment, I'm going to stay here because we got a decent amount of vehicles here and a few people standing at the fence. Andy, is there any word on the radio?
No, I've not heard anything yet.
Nothing about operations in terms of, because some people saying that they're going to finish at 3. Is it? So that could be it. We've definitely got something starting up down there, haven't we? Gaz Waller. G'day, Gaz. Okay, we've got jets coming out, folks. Looks like this might be the last set to go up. The fuel that fighters use is the same as the Jet A1 that the commercial airliners use, with an additional anti-corrosion and anti-static additive. EGPX, finding that on Google. Where else? Indeed. Thank you, EGPX. Great bit of information. So it is the same fuel maker, but it has additives in it, anti-corrosion and anti-static. Wouldn't be surprised if the Jet A1 has, or the commercial version has an anti-static built into it. Surely, wouldn't it? Pop it TCB. Pete Hibbard. Radar is used to monitor cloud density. Not sure the radar is available at Coningsby, but the station is used at Scampton. Right. Lloyd Bell, BAE Embraer 145, 10 minutes away. Stuart Watson, all the very best to you. See you on Sunday. That will be our next show, folks. Got the big move tomorrow. I'm going from here northwards. And then it's the big move. It's going to be hard to pull Jilly out of the garden every day to get her flipping come and sit down at the desk. No, I've just got another plane going over there. Yeah, okay. No, hold on a minute, there's another one going out. Dom H. If there's jets going up, there will be no AAR, so a quick mission maybe. So as he's saying, AAR, air-to-air refueling. So that's interesting. Oh yeah, definitely, Peregrine Brush. We have got to give the RAF Coningsby Spotters Group a huge shout out. And thank you for welcoming us once again. Got to say, in terms of spotter groups, probably one of the nicest spotter groups out there, RAF Coningsby Spotters Group. Thank you guys and girls for giving us a shout out and welcoming us once again to Coningsby. Really appreciate it. James Clark saw Air Canada land at Heathrow from Mumbai. Yes, they have been doing because of the direction that they're having to, the diversion that they're having to take now. Is it Mumbai that's stopping? Overflying. Look. Oh, that's it. Yes. Heathrow is the fuel stop on its way to Mumbai because it can't fly the other way round. That's it. Max Thompson also talking about air-to-air refueling. Neil Robson. I've seen one go over Mablethorpe. Any moment now. Okay, so Max Thompson and Dom both mentioning about the air-to-air refueling. I'm hearing, well, is that, are we right in saying that there are no AAR jets up? And there's Jan Cook saying the tanker is returning to Bryce now. Okay, now Sir James Dunk. I'm hopeful that that there's another set coming out. I don't know whether they're just maybe running an engine up over there, because oh no, hold on. Take care, Andreas. Or Andres, is it Andres? Andres Crew. James Beatwell. I think it's a closed Facebook group for the Coningsby lot, which, to be perfectly honest with you, is probably a good thing. I think if this lot go up, this will probably be the. If this is a group that's going up, it'll probably be the last group that does go up. Panther's big T88. Yes, thank you. What's that, GP? Yeah, Gavin Smith, that little 318 that they used for the London City route is no longer in operation. So that flight number, I think, is now defunct, and that is a shutdown. That's not good. I think that's it, folks. I think we're done, which is a great shame. I think that's it. I think we're done. Embraer's one on approach, yeah. That's I think that's all we're going to get. Come in, have a couple of sandwiches, and then off we're going to go back. Thanks, folks. It was short, it was sweet, and it was decent. It was fun. Bleeding cold. Yeah, everyone's going now, so I think that's a general. But listen, before you head off, ladies and gents, let me just confirm with you. Make sure I've got no bogies on my nose. It's all clear, yeah? All clear. It's bogey free. Folks, remember, next Tuesday, it's going to be foggy, innit? So there might be some delays. We're going to be live at London Heathrow airside next Tuesday, ladies and gents. We estimate on air around about between 10 and 11. We'll let you know on Sunday when we're a little bit close to that. We're waiting to get clearance on a promo that we're going to run out. But this is a pure invite from Emirates Airlines themselves. Can you believe it? We've reached that status, folks, where we have been invited by Emirates Airlines and Donata as well. Donata, the handling company that handles all the aircraft in terms of the cargo and all the operations around the aircraft, and we will be focusing in on that. Look them up, folks. They are very impressive. DNATA Donata operations, and they're very commonly seen around the world. Whenever I fly, I generally see the Donata name in a lot of places that I head to. But yeah, it's going to be a great show. We're going to be there for the entire turnaround. We're going to catch the arrival. We're going to be right at the runway's edge to film it touching down, and then we're going to get it coming into gate. A bit like what we did at Stansted, but obviously we're going to stick with it right the way through the whole turnaround procedure, and then of course for the departure as well. Let's just get this 145. Sorry about that. So this is so those folks are BAE Systems. They're the folks that I think BAE Systems are to do with the armaments, I think, or radar or something like that with these aircraft. They're part of the whole. Is that right? Just have a look here, see what people are saying. Just one more thing. You said you went out with your wife the other day. Well, we saw you on CCTV and you didn't go out with your wife. You went out on your own. We saw you get into your Ford Cortina. Anyway. BBLLB, can you believe the 145 doesn't have slides? Is that the reverser doors? I imagine it probably does, but it's just coming in so lightly and effortlessly that okay. Domate saying that there's a Typhoon that's actually still up. Okay, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate that. Charlie Redpath. Diesel 13, good day. Kelvin, Paul MK, all the way. Kelvin Grant, Rachel Lofthouse. Oh, okay, about 15 minutes out, Dom H saying, and there's two of them. Okay, so we might, if you missed it earlier, you're going to get yourselves a little bit of, I'd imagine that they will probably do a couple of circuits, bump and circuit, or circuit and bump. Is it called circuit and bump, or is it bump and circuit? Touch and go is a sort of like more a terminology used in the sort of like, you know, the missed approach for a commercial airline. I don't think they call these touch and goes, do they? Or do they? I don't know. I thought it was bumps and circuits when you generally see aircraft coming around and doing a bump and circuit. Rob Van Roy. Good day to you, tuning in from Holland by the looks of it. So got a lot of stuff going on with Emirates, of course. Next week, like I say, we're going to be doing a full turnaround show on the A380. With any luck, as I mentioned to the guys yesterday, with any luck, the chances are that there will be two of them side by side. So when we go live, we will have one to our left or to our right, depending on which of the gates is still open. But so we will be able to catch that one pushing back and going out as well. So we get double bubble really. But we've got a full schedule planned for next Tuesday. It's been something that we've been working on for about 6 weeks now, and something even more, if you can believe it, exciting. Not exciting, but even more. We're going to be doing even more with Emirates potentially. Well, actually not potentially, but we are the following week. So be prepared for that one as well. It's very impressive what Donata, this whole operation at London Heathrow is a very strict schedule, obviously, unless of course there are delays, which ultimately there are always usually some form of a delay, but there are times of course when everything runs absolutely pin sharp. And we managed to see both the 380, one coming in and one going out and one coming in. But it was quite interesting because when you talk about delays, it's very interesting because when we filmed one at Munich, an A380 at Munich, we got to the gate. On the ground, of course, and it was ready to go, but they were actually offloading containers, or ULDs as they're known, and in those ULDs were obviously passenger luggage and so on and so forth. They of course do carry certain amounts of freight, but you may have been with us airside at Munich that day, but what was interesting was that they were unloading all these ULDs and they had to take one suitcase off, obviously due to a passenger who'd either not arrived on the aircraft, hadn't, why they would obviously have checked their bag in, but obviously not boarded the aircraft. So in those instances, they have to take everything off. Fortunately, the systems, which are very efficient these days with the barcoding and so on and so forth, they are able to identify which ULD that case is on and where that ULD is located in the belly of the aircraft. So they know that they have to take 4 off before they get to it. So that whole thing delayed the aircraft by some 40 odd minutes. So that just shows you a lot of time the delays that we encounter are not down to that can be down to something as simple as a passenger just not boarding the aircraft. They may have checked in, they may have put their luggage through, but they just didn't board the aircraft, or they were on a connecting flight, or they were on the baggage was checked through Heathrow's automated system, went on to the onward aircraft, but the passenger didn't turn up, or didn't board that aircraft, that leg of the flight. So in that instance, that's where delays can occur. Weather is one of the other obvious things, either a headwind or a tailwind. It might be ahead of schedule. Sometimes in that case, when you're ahead of schedule, you have to sit outside the gate for 10, 15, 20 minutes waiting to get your slot, because the aircraft where your gate, there's already an aircraft sitting there waiting to be pushed back. So there's all sorts of different parameters that could be involved with a delayed flight. So nice, isn't it? wires have fallen off. Yeah, but what is very interesting about Donata, and of course we will be sort of like we will be doing this with Donata and with Emirates Airlines as well. It will be basically the whole operation of turning around a huge aircraft like an A380. I mean, one thing you have to consider as well, and we'll be discussing this whilst we're on the ground as well, is and back in the day I did a stretch of aircraft cleaning with ACS at London Gatwick. Just so that I could be near the planes. It was amazing, man. It was amazing. I'll do the flight deck. I'll do the flight deck. No, Dyer, you get back there. You do the toilet. Oh, but I want to do the flight deck. No, you do the toilet. Yeah, but anyway. I mean, I don't have any memories of cleaning aircraft toilets, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do have memories of being up the front on the flight deck and just sort of like taking my time to clean the flight deck of a plane, because they were always live, weren't they? So you'd have all the of course back then it was before the whole glass cockpit era came along, wasn't it? So they would all be like analog displays, 757s and stuff like that. Might have been a little bit of glass in there, but just checking that hangar over there that's being opened. It might be to put an aircraft in, I don't know. But yes, aircraft cleaning. Imagine it. I mean, obviously they just double up on the amount of personnel they have cleaning those aircraft. But it has to be efficient. Obviously, they're not hoovering or anything like that. What is interesting to me is they say that we do disinfect. You remember back in the day with COVID when you're walking around with all the masks on and doing all of that and sort of like spraying all that gear all over the place. I don't know if they do that anymore. I really don't know if they do that anymore. But anyway, whatever. I'm just trying to fill here, by the way. I'm sure there's something going on. Is there going over there? Okay. Okay, we've got two returning Phoons, folks. Interesting, if you read back into the history of the Typhoon, the original Hawker Typhoon, we discussed it quite at length. Well, I waffled on about it, should I be honest with you, earlier on today, at the beginning of the show, about the Hawker Typhoon. Of course, the original Hawker company, Hawker Siddeley. Did it later become Hawker Siddeley, or was it just Hawker? I don't know, anyway, whatever. But oh, okay, we've got somebody on the feed who may be refueling that 380 on Tuesday. That's another part of it as well. I don't know, is that Donata? Because I know Donata have got a huge string. I mean, as a company, we're going to be focusing mainly on their turnaround of the aircraft, which is the cargo handling side of it. When we talk about cargo handling, we're talking about the baggage, which is in containers. That's all of that procedure is done by Donata. I'm waiting to hear back whether it's whether they are procuring the pushback of the aircraft as well. I'm not sure. But refueling potentially as well, but they can and they do handle baggage handling, marshalling, parking, cooling and heating, ramp to flight deck communications. So in other words, that would be, oh right, that's me done. Oh, thank God he's shut up. Oh, there's a couple of them there. Oh, he missed it. Oh man, they were close together, mate. Hold on a minute. Turned on a dime, this one over the top of me. how these jet fighters have a forward dropping gear and not a back dropping gear like you see in commercial jets. Oh, okay, so it's not a Donata operation for the fueling then. Okay. Okay, they have wheeled an aircraft out there. Is that possibly going off for maintenance? So it will stay right where it is. Keep an eye on that. It's that 44 Squadron, I think, isn't it? Canards swing up. She's flirting with the canards there. Yeah, up they go. Obviously, oh, it's 41 Squadron, was it? Okay. Okay, so he's gone back in there, is he? Okay, we're done. I think that's it, isn't it? Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on, canopy up. Canopy up. Just make sure. Might be, Oh, looks like there's a fella under there. He's just maybe getting engine covers ready as well. I don't know if that's just. Double check that's not. There would be a lot more personnel around that aircraft if that was going out. The overseer. The dispatch hut is still. I think they're just taking opportunities to maybe do some small amount of line maintenance or just. Yeah. So, folks, looks like that's it. It's been great having your company, albeit for a short period of time. I think that might be it, folks. Yeah, so get yourself familiarised with these folks at Donata. I know a lot of you probably already are. They've got a massive new bespoke cargo facility at London Heathrow as well. But these guys will handle anything from a 380 right the way down to a CRJ, for example. 525,000 flights are operated annually with 347 airlines at Donata. And we will be meeting Stuart Angus, who's the regional CEO at Donata, as well as the Emirates, the captain of the Emirates aircraft, Sean Croft, next week. Sean Croft flying the aircraft in, I believe, and we will be having a check with him and also discussing how exciting it is to be flying with Emirates and what a great company they are to fly for. And that is one of the big points that we'll be covering as well, folks, is the flight training school, flight training academy, and the process of recruitment with pilots for Emirates, not just obviously with the 380 but also on the 777 and also with the freighters as well. They have a very extensive flight training academy out there in Dubai, and that's something that we'll also be touching on as well, because they are on, and I did mention this a few months ago, that they are on a massive recruitment drive for pilots in Dubai with Emirates, and they have so many options to look at for new pilots as well, and you can go there literally being a sprog and train all the way up through the academy to become a fully fledged commercial airline pilot, and that is something that we will obviously discuss during the show next week as well. So I think that's about it thank you for tuning in, folks. Thank you to everybody who joined us. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday and join us on Sunday. We will obviously let you know exactly what time we're going to be on and potentially where we're going to be, but we are definitely going to be at Heathrow, so make sure you join us then. That will be me speaking to Jilly 4 miles away from Heathrow as opposed to 400 miles away or however much it is. But anyway, listen folks, look after yourselves and we will see you. Thank you, by the way, to Andy for the coffee earlier on as well. Appreciate that, mate. And to the gentleman who came by, who does the pens. Remember the pens? That was during lockdown, wasn't it, Jilly? But thank you so much to him as well with his lovely hat and his lovely pen. And we will... Arthur Benny? Is it Arthur Benny? What's that, mate? Oh, he's going out already. Is he going back? Okay, folks, look after yourselves, and we will see you on Sunday. Look, be good, and be safe, and be responsible. Take care. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye-bye. You can go for a cut.